Hi, Deepa Rani Shekhar from Transform Life Programs. Love and Light. Let me tell you a story, dear friends. There was this prisoner who was sentenced to death, and the authorities gave permission to a team of medical researchers for an experiment on this prisoner whose death was preordained by the court. So, in accordance, the prisoner was told that his death sentence was proclaimed and it will be abided by, except for a small change. Instead of taking him to the electric chair or hanging him till death, they would be putting an end to his life with the bite of a cobra, a venomous cobra. The man had no choice. Anyways, he is going to die. Whether by an electric chair, the execution is going to be by hanging, did not matter to him much. Despite being criminals, they do go through a lot of mental trauma when they know that this is what is going to happen to them. So, the date of his death sentence arrived. The hour of what was to happen arrived, and I don't know how many of you have seen it in actuality, but all of us have seen these things on the television, right? In movies and soap operas and stuff. So his face was covered with a black cloak, and he was made to sit on a stool. And after the count, there's a method of doing it. There is a count, and then there is a trigger given, and then it happens. So there was no hangman here. There was neither a cobra man, for your information. The death was supposed to happen by the venomous sting of a venomous cobra, but it didn't happen that way. Instead, they just took 2 safety pins and gave him a prick like the fangs of a cobra. Within the next 2 minutes, the man died. And what was revealed in the post-mortem is surprising. The post-mortem revealed that the man's body had been put to a halt because of a venom very similar to that of a poisonous cobra. Just because he was told that he would be subject to death, his execution would be through the sting of a venomous cobra, he had duplicated it in his body, and he had died of a prick by 2 safety pins. Interesting, isn't it? So why am I telling you this story? Any guess? Okay, let me tell you. The reason is we read a lot of statistics on the media, and we are like psychic sponges blobbing on all the information that is there. The good, bad, ugly, everything we take in. And how well we assimilate it is a different thing. And today, the social media is one part. The social media also plays a great role in spreading information and rumormation, I would call it. Most of them are rumors. How many times do we get forwards which we have seen years before or months before with a new caption which suits the eventuality of whatever is happening at that time? So I would just call them social media mischief mongers. But how many of us have this maturity to deal with it like that? Instead of dealing with it like that, most of us go into a panic. We assimilate all the information and we start recreating the symptoms, duplicating the symptoms in our body. Like this prisoner who duplicated the quality or the characteristics, rather I should say, the characteristics of the snake's venom, and that called his imminent death. So, are we duplicating the fears, the symptoms, the uh, sadness, the dangers of the pandemic by going through the data and statistics on the media? That's a question we have to ask ourselves. If you're staying safe, if you're staying home, if you're going out, if you're following all the prerequisites of wearing a mask, of washing your hands frequently, or again, frequently doesn't mean I've washed my hands just 2 minutes before, so I touch something and leave it back. Anyway, 2 minutes before I washed my hands, so I'm not going to wash my hands. No. Every time you touch a surface, before touching your face, any region of your face, you have to wash your hands. Again, you touched something and you touch yourself, and someone, your kid probably, puts his face here while you're patting it to sleep. No. Anything you touch before touching yourself anyway, you have to wash your hands. If you're doing all that and maintaining social distance, you don't have to worry about anything the media or social media is propagating. So you are staying safe by following social distancing, by following the mask, by doing washing hands and everything, by wearing a mask, everything. But are you keeping your mind safe? Are you following the diet of what you hear, what you see, what you think? Eating alone is not diet. What you eat alone is not diet. Are you maintaining a healthy mental diet? So always remember, I keep repeating this in all my videos almost. What you focus on expands. So friends, what are you focusing on? Can you be aware of what you're focusing on? Can you be aware of saying no to all these dismal, disheartening, frightening information that the media throws at us? Today, the rate of recovery has increased even with people who have tested COVID positive. That doesn't mean you go and risk yourself, but you can be safe, but you don't have to go into a mental stress and pressure of what happens next. Like if you're doing all that was discussed in this very video, you don't have to worry. But along with that, along with social distancing, I would rather suggest do media distancing too. At least do the media distancing of being conscious of what you think, what you are taking in, what you're absorbing. So that is a way of staying healthy. Or we will be like the prisoner who died for 2 pricks by 2 safety pins. Do you want to throw away your life, your freedom, your joy and happiness, all that you have created and achieved so far for the prick of 2 needles? Even death has to be grand and glorious, right? It has to serve a noble purpose. Or you have to have lived a full life, either of the two. It should not be because of a prick by 2 needles. Don't you agree, dear friends? So can you make a conscious pledge to be conscious about all the data and statistics you get through the media and social media and not get carried away by it? So stay safe physically and mentally. Practice social distancing and safety norms, not just physically, but also mentally and emotionally. Stay safe and stay happy. Thank you for joining me, Deepa Rani Shekhar from Transform Life Programs. Love and light.